with your kit, you should have 4 half-inch lag bolts, the 2 half-inch pins, and 2 half-inch bolts with lock nuts. There's your weigh bar, and these are the 2 bottom brackets along with your mounting plate. First thing we want to do is take our weigh bar, set it right there. And I like to start off with taking my bolts. These don't need to be tight. Just need to get them started in there and they won't ever come out. Next, you'll want to make sure all these are loose enough where your bottom bracket will slide in. Get your weigh bar in there. I always make sure here that it's somewhat even and that the brackets are pushed tight up against the weigh bar. Once you got everything pushed up tight, you can go and you can tighten these down. They don't need to be overly tight. Usually I just use a ratchet. For this, I'm just using my impact. But you don't, if you ever have to change a weigh bar, you don't want them too tight because you will not get them out. Next, we want to take our weigh bar. On the scale here, see that pipe? That's where the cables are going to need to be fished through that. This bar right here just happened to have an end on it. Your bar will not have an end on it. It'll be cut, stripped, so it'll go right in there. But we want to make sure our cable is going to be going towards the inside of the scale. So here's your top bracket. That's welded to the scale. Just slide your weigh bar in there. And take your pin, your half-inch pin, slide a washer on it. I tip them up and get one started. Maybe. This thing's lifted up off the ground, so that's why it's not touching. Then you put your washer on the outside of that, along with your solder pin. I'm not going to bend them because I want to take it out. And then I just kind of make sure I got equal spacing. And then you'll drop your deck down, drill your holes in your concrete for your lag bolts and lag it down. And that's all it is to putting one of the weigh bars together. Okay. Strip them back and clip off the shield because we don't need it. And strip back each one of these. About like that. I like to use a small screwdriver and start with the green. And there's a color code on the back side of the lid, but this is the XE Plus. And then you just push in this little white tab, it opens up and it clamps it down. Next, EXC minus is going to be your black. And then we clip the shield wire, that's the next one. So just skip that one. Very next color is going to be the signal minus, which is red. And then the signal plus, which is white. And this is Watronics code. And we'll do that on each one of the way bars. Of course, the lead cable is hooked up on this already. If you need to take it out, just make sure it's hooked up exactly how it is. The green wire, this is our trim pot. This is an adjustment. We'll use that later to get our scales a little closer to calibration. But for now, we're just hooking up the way bar leads. So I will hook the rest of them up, then I'll show you the trim pots. Okay, so your junction box should look like this, hopefully. These nuts, plastic nuts on the end, you'll want to make sure that those are tight. Mine are loose yet. That way the box is completely sealed, so moisture can't get in there. There is these terminal blocks. I didn't mention that, but they are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. You might have a hard time seeing that. It does not matter which bar hooks up into any of them. It's just important that they are wired up. Each bar is wired up to the same terminal. They all go together and out here. So that's all there is about that. The next thing is this trim pot adjustment. The way I do it is on your scale you'll have the 2 decks. This is only going to be controlling one deck. So say scale deck 1, you park a truck on there, it weighs 18,000 pounds. On scale deck 2, you park the same truck on it, it weighs 18,100 pounds. Well, the way we would adjust it is we need to adjust the weight down. And the way we do that is by turning this trim pot. We always want to go down. So on our scale 2, with the trim pot, you'll turn this trim pot adjustment with a small flathead screwdriver, turn it clockwise. Turn it clockwise, it'll drop the weight. You'll need the truck on there while you're doing it. Bring it down to 18,000 pounds. A lot of times you'll have to repeat this step maybe 2 or 3 times. But when you get it to 18, pull the truck off, re-zero your indicator, pull the truck back on there and recheck it. If it hasn't gotten down there to that 18,000 pounds, adjust it again, adjust it again, pull the truck off, then re-zero it and check again. If we're at 18, we're good. We don't need to change anything else. Then after that, you'll need to call us and we'll walk you through calibrating the indicator. We're not worried about if the truck is weighing right at this point. We just want to make sure that both decks are weighing exactly the same.